Hey everybody, this is Gael from BGB News, his Hector, and well, we're very glad to have you here listening to our news. And we're gonna start first with local news.
Okay, so now we're going to start with the local news. And first we have the altars and legend stars in the night tour of Zapopan Central Pantheon. In memory of those who are no longer here, the Zapopan Centro Municipal Pantheon opened its door on Monday night and previous day of the Day of the Dead. In this cemetery, 8 altars designed by retired elements of the public security, civil protection and fire department, Cruz Verde and students from High School 7 of the University of Guadalajara were installed. As tradition requires, each altar was adorned with papel picado, marigold flowers, candles, bread for the dead, food and objects that characterize the people honored at the altar in life. During the night tour, attendees were able to hear stories of Zapopanos that left a trace of which the remains lie in the municipal cemetery. The stories were told by various guides who made several pauses along the way to tell the audience the popular legends. The tour ended with a dance show by the companies of houses of culture of the municipality. Due to the health emergency, the attendees had to enter in small groups and from 8 to 24 hours.
Now, Zapopan's mayor conducts a supervision tour in the Zapopan Centro Panteón. In order to verify and accomplish the measures implemented by the Day of the Dead operation, Mayor Juan Jose Frangi made a night tour of the municipal cemetery of Zapopan Centro. During the tour, he supervised compliance with the recommendations of the Board of Health and the performance of cultural activities. From October 30 to November 2, the municipal government of Zapopan, through personnel from different agencies, executes surveillance actions to supervise and safeguard the integrity of visitors to the 15 cemeteries of the municipality during the festivities for the Day of the Dead. In addition, as part of the Recuérdame Bonito program, the reconstruction of planter boxes were reconstructed, banners placed, canvases installed with the name of the cemetery at the entrance, confetti installations, design and placement of the nomenclature on the walkways, painting on the walls, stencil in the planters, and murals in the crypt bottoms, and renovation of the internal signage was carried out.
Now we have a Zapopan applies a security plan for visiting cemeteries. A joint operations between agencies will be carried out from October 30 to November 2nd with the mission of guaranteeing security conditions for a smooth celebration on the occasion of the Day of the Dead, especially with regard to sanitary measures to avoid contagion of COVID-19. The municipal government announced the operational plan for the purpose starting this Saturday 30 and until Tuesday, November 2nd. Municipal government personnel on uniform from different corporations will be aware of what happens in municipal cemeteries to support. If they needed the visitors of those places of worship, they will operate at 70% of their capacity. In accordance with the recommendation of the Jalisco Health Board from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., a state of force to the Zapopan police stations made up of 68 elements, with the support of 18 and 6 motorcycles and 4 bicycles, will ward the gravels. Municipal staffs will remind the assistants, if it's necessary, of the correct and unconditional use of the mask. Among other measures, also supervise that the pantheons do not attempt groups larger than 10 people as recommended by the Board of Health.
The next part is national news, and well, these are not good news because an actor passed away. His name was Octavio Caña, and my partners Leslie, Diana, and Nadia will give you more information about this topic.
Thank you so much to our past co-workers and that great information, but now continuing on with their national news that sadly in this case are not very welcoming. We informed that the past Friday the Mexican actor Octavio Caña, best known for his role as Benito in the Mexican comedy series Vecinos, died after a gunshot wound to the head. Confirmed on Saturday, the Attorney General's Office of the State of Mexico is still investigating the case.
The first reports indicated that he died on the highway near Cuautitlán Izcalli. The version released by the federal police says that police officers stopped the vehicle on the Champa Lecheria route, but they said that he accelerated to escape. On board the truck he was traveling with two other people, the authorities indicated that they were drunk. One of the companions declared that the driver was carrying a firearm, which he had taken from the glove compartment of his vehicle. During the chase, the driver lost control of the unit and it crashed on the side of the road, where the driver was found with a firearm injury up to the head, and the two companions were secured by elements of the municipal police. The actor's father blamed the police for the death of his son, supported by a video where the young man remained with vital signs when the police had already reached him. That also contradicts the images where the actor carried a weapon in his right hand. Authorities and the family aren't sure about the real story of what happened that evening and the real reason for the death of the actor, since there are a lot of theories and different perspectives.
Here are some theories about what happened. One of the companions declared that the driver was carrying a firearm, which he had taken from the glove compartment of the vehicle. During the chase, the driver lost control of the unit and it crashed on the side of the road, where the driver was found with a firearm injury to the head. Another version indicates that the two men who accompanied Ocaña tried to assault him and that upon being discovered, they boarded the vehicle with the actor at the wheel to flee. Thus a weapon was fired and consequently the vehicle collided, but this last theory was denied by the author's father during the wake, since he clarified that the companions of his son were trusted people to whom he entrusted their safety. Now, a little bit of context about Octavio Ocaña. He was born on the 7th of November of 1998. He started his career as an actor from a young age, and in 2005, when he was only 7 years old, he reached fame with the role of Benito Rivers on the successful Mexican sitcom Vecinos. Octavio made some more movies and TV shows after Vecinos, but in 2010 he quit acting. However, he came back to acting in 2017 in the Vecinos reboot. Another important thing to point out is that Ocaña was recently engaged to Narea Godínez, and his wedding was going to be in January next year. We offer our condolences to his fiancée and family. We are deeply sorry for the loss of the family and friends who cared, loved, and appreciated Octavio as much as many TV viewers. We give our condolences and blessings, wishing a peaceful and memorable living.
Alright, thanks Diane, thanks Leslie, thanks Nadia. And well, the next topic is about international news with our partners Ismael, Ale and Sophie. We have two crazy news about an Australian 4-year-old girl that was found after 18 days of being kidnapped. Then a Japanese man responsible of injuring 17 people on a train that was obviously arrested, and the other one was happier, and this is about Galapagos Marine Reserve. So let's see more about it.
And now we go with the international news. So to start, a Japanese man suspected of injuring at least 70 people with a knife at a Tokyo train was arrested. In more detail, a 20-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder in the Japanese capital Tokyo after a knife attack on a train near Kokuryo Station in Chofu City, which left at least 17 people injured on October 21st, as many people were streaming into the city center to celebrate Halloween. According to witnesses, the suspect was wearing a Joker's costume from the Batman franchise, and the police reported that he said he wanted to kill people and be given a death penalty. Some cell phone footages showed chaotic scenes from inside the train as the attack unfolded on the KO line, where passengers can be seen running through a train carriage to get away from the attacker and jumping out of the train's windows to escape after the train made an emergency stop. The alleged attacker brandished a knife and used a cigarette lighter fluid to set a fire inside of the moving train, causing large flames to rise briefly and burn some seats. As mentioned before, this left at least 17 people injured, including a man in his 70s who is in critical condition after being stabbed in the chest. The attacker was finally arrested at the scene by Tokyo Metropolitan Police on suspicion of attempted murder, currently being held in custody according to a police officer.
Something else, an Australian man has been charged with the abduction of a 4-year-old Cleo Smith, who was rescued on Wednesday after being missing for 18 days. Terence Darrell Kelly, of 36 years old, appeared in court in the town of Carnarvon, charged with forcibly or fraudulently taking or enticing a child under 16. Cleo disappeared from her family's tent at a campsite on 16 October, triggering a massive search. Police found her in a locked home in Carnarvon. Mr. Kelly, who police say was taken to the hospital with self-inflicted injuries before being charged, did not apply for bail and was not required to enter a plea on the Carnarvon Magistrates Court on Thursday. He has been remained in custody until 6 December, according to local media reports. Police allege he acted alone. They have previously said the kidnapping was unplanned and opportunistic. The search of Cleo at one stage had been linked to finding a needle in a haystack covering vast distances. In the end, the house where she was discovered was 100 kilometers, 62 miles, south of the remote campsite where she had at least been seen, but just a few kilometers from her own family home, according to local media reports. The relief felt by the officers who finally found her playing with toys in the locked house can be heard on audio released by police on Thursday. Detective Sergeant Cameron Blaine said she was alert and aware when he and his colleagues found her. Dave Blaine, who visited the family after Cleo was released from the hospital checkup, was amazed she seems to be so well adjusted and happy after ordeal. According to Reuters news agency, specialists will now be brought in to interviews with Cleo, while her parents have been given help in how to preserve her memories or the incident.
Now, let's go to another news. Galapagos Marine Reserve conservationists hail expansion. Well, conservationists have welcomed the announcement by Ecuador that it will expand the marine reserve around the Galapagos Islands by 60 square kilometers. President Guillermo Lasso announced the move at the COP26 Climate Summit in Glasgow. Mr. Lasso told that his government wanted to show that action rather than words was the most effective way to fight the climate change. Conservationists call it a brilliant first step. The existing marine protection area around the Galapagos measures 133,000 square kilometers and was one of the first large-scale marine conservation areas to be created. It is one of the most productive marine ecosystems in the world. Conservationists hope that its expansion will protect the migration routes of endangered species such as the whale shark and make the reserve more resilient to climate change. In 2020, a huge number of Chinese fishing boats were spotted in waters of the Galapagos by conservationists, accusing the fleet of pillaging the area for squid. President Lasso denied the expansion of the marine reserve was a response to the Chinese fleet's movements, insisting it was an autonomous decision of the Ecuadorian government. Mr. Lasso said that in his most recent conversation by Chinese president, he sensed a clear commitment to respect Ecuador's maritime zone, and that he therefore hoped there would be no repeat of the scenes which had played out in 2020. He added that his government would swap debt for conservation to create a fund that would allow Ecuador to be fit up Navy patrols to protect the area and provide artisanal fishermen working outside the marine reserve with support. The Galapagos and seas surrounding them are a unique ecosystem home to whales, turtles, and tuna. Explained Proof Sandy Turkop and Dr. Manyweather Wilson from the University of Edinburgh. The fact that they say they are so rich in commercially important species is also what makes them so attractive to fishermen, say the two scientists, who were part of the team whose research underpinned the decision to expand the reserve, but Proof Turkop is confident that the expansion will benefit fishermen too. Marine protection is often identified as a way to support fishers, he said. If you manage to get the areas of protection correct, then they act as nursery grounds, and then you get a spill out from these areas that support the surrounding fisheries. He says he hopes the benefits of protecting such a big area of the ocean will become clear, and that those who may have been skeptical of the move will see that it has not crippled the Ecuadorian fishing fleet. Well, that was it from the international news, and thank you for the attention. Bye-bye.
Now for the next part is the section of sports, and my partners Jolie, Regina, and Julie are going to talk about the fight of Canelo Alvarez against Caleb Plant.
Hello everyone, we're the section of sports and we're going to start with our national favorite.
So we're going to start with the incredible fight of Canelo Alvarez with Caleb Plant. Our Mexican warrior is an undisputed champion, and as we know, he had a fight in Las Vegas, which won in the 11th round, and this made him claim the EBF super middleweight title. So he is the first Mexican to win all of the prizes. So yes, and we also need to remember that this fight was possible because in the 6th round, Canelo Alvarez started to fight more against Caleb, so he had more advantage. And that's it.
Now into another of our Mexican favorites, but for another kind of sport, is Checo Perez. He is a Mexican racer, also tapatio, and he was the past Sunday in the career of the Grand Prix that was in Mexico City. He started the 4th place in the career, and at one point of it he was in the 1st place, but at the end he was at the 3rd one in the podium. All Mexico is very proud of him because he made history, and in the 1st place it was Verstappen of Belgium and Hamilton of the UK. The Checo Perez had a lot of success, and even AMLO congratulated him because he made history, so we're all proud of him.
Now, we are going to talk about some good and bad news for French people. The good news is that some members of the team of mountaineers had opened a new record in Nepal. They are the first people that do such a long distance trip to this kind of mountain, so we want to send them a congratulations. And yeah, but only 2 weeks later, 3 members of the same team get lost on an expedition to the Himalayas mountain. So yeah, we hope they are okay, but they're saying that there's no way they can be alive because it has been almost 2 weeks
since the accident. And yeah,
Very sad
it's
news.
very sad. Now there are a lot of people searching for them, but we all know they are exposed to a very low temperature. But we still hope they can return to their home alive and healthy. And well, ending with a good news, the, the tennis player Djokovic has won a new record at the 6 Masters in Paris. So we also want to send him a congratulations for winning this new record. And yeah, that's all for today. We hope you liked this transmission. Here is Regina, Julieta,
And Yolanda.
see you next time.
The next section is gonna be cultural news, and we have JC, Leo, and Oscar that will be talking about Day of the Dead and some other cultural news.
Hello everyone, this is the cultural section of this news program, which is conformed by Oscar, Jose Carlos, and me, Leo. Here we'll be discussing the different elements of this beautiful tradition of the altar of the dead. So, the altars of the dead, or offerings, are fundamental public tradition with which Mexicans celebrate the Day of the Dead. The most traditional altar is the altar of the dead, with 7 levels, which symbolize the necessary steps to rest in peace. In the level number 1, people place the image of the saint of whom you are devoted. On level 2, this level is dedicated to the souls in purgatory, and it is used for the deceased to have permission to leave that place. It is recommended to place an image of the souls in purgatory on this level. On the level 3, salt is placed to purify the spirit and so that the body is not corrupted. On the level 4, there is pan de muerto, which symbolizes the Eucharist in the Catholic beliefs. On the level 5, the deceased favorite food and fruit are placed on this level. On level 6, here is a photo of the deceased to whom the altar is dedicated. And finally, on level 7, a Catholic cross made of seeds, fruits, and neem is placed. It serves for the deceased to atone for his guilt. So, the levels of the altar of the dead represent the sattva of existence. For example, a 2-tiered altar symbolizes earth and heaven. Those of 3 levels incorporate the underworld and the purgatory.
Now, I'm gonna tell you some fun facts that you didn't know about this celebrity called Dia de Muertos. The first of all, at the beginning, this celebration wasn't so important until UNESCO says, you know what, we will give him some relevance. On November of 2003, it was named Patrimonio de la Humanidad. Now, did you know that La Catrina is one of the most representative figures of this celebration, as you may know? Was created by a Mexican cartoonist named José Guadalupe de la Posada, who created the figure of Catrinas, and the name provided by Diego Rivera. And the Catrina is a representation of those Mexicans who said that they were Europeans and they didn't want to be like Mexicans. So it's like the representation of those Mexicans that they don't accept their roots, sus raíces, roots. Now, originally this celebration lasted 2 months. So I didn't knew this one also, that it lasted 2 months from July to August, but the Catholic religion modified this holiday to make it match with the day of el Día de los Santos. So that's why we got November 1st, Día de los Santos, and November 2nd, Día de los Fieles Difuntos. So those are some fun facts that I'm sure that you didn't know about this holiday, this season that we just passed.
And now, Jose Carlos is going to tell us some facts about the origin, and hopefully he's going to interview some people about this famous day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are here at Vallarta watching this amazing art. As you may see, there's from the Dia de Muertos. The tallest Catrina in Mexico with a record Guinness now stands on Puerto Vallarta Boardwalk in front of the historic center. It stands 50 meters tall and looks imposing in front of the sea in a pink Mexican outfit. Thousands of tourists have come to appreciate it and share it in social networks as a monument to the Day of the Dead that has never been done before in the beach destination. The Puerto Vallarta City Council also placed decorations and altars of the dead on the boardwalk and in the center of the city, where it is enlivened with music, lights, and many marigold flowers within this festival. The Day of the Dead is lived in all its splendor in different parts of Mexico, and now Puerto Vallarta offers one more attraction for visitors. To finish this section, I will say that it was a complete pleasure, and I'm so glad of being here at Puerto Vallarta, watching to this art and monuments, and I'm too glad to see how our culture has transcended in a very special way to all the countries in the world.
For the next part, we have the weather section, and my partners Fede, Renata, and Andrea are gonna tell you more about this.
Hello everyone, today in BGB News we have the climate, and well, as you can see today it's a little bit windy, but we have for the next week's climate. So on Monday we're going to have a minimum of 8 degrees and it's going to be a cloudy day, so wear your jacket please, and a maximum of 27 degrees. And on Tuesday we're going to have a minimum of 8 degrees and a maximum of 27 degrees.
On Wednesday we expect a cloudy day and temperatures from 8 to 26 degrees. On Thursday we expect a sunny day and temperatures from 6 to 28. And on Friday we have the same climate as on Thursday.
And on the weekend, expect a couple of sunny days. We'll have some temperatures from 9 degrees all the way to 24 degrees. So, it will be a very nice weekend. Now, on to the next section.
Alright, so thanks for being here today, for being listening to our news, and well, hope we see you on the next time. Bye bye.